Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. WWE SmackDown's general manager, Nick Aldis, hasn't been having the best time in the management role. Once a former in-ring competitor, the 38-year-old isn't the kind of person who will let himself be bullied. Over the past few months, there have been numerous instances where stars have taken him out in frustration during a rivalry. While charging a fine is a whole other thing, Aldis won't stay calm for long if he gets taken down by another massive name. Aldis has faced something similar with Randy Orton over the years and has been hit with a number of RKOs. While a match between the two was also rumored at one point, things didn't go that way, and Aldis managed to stay out of the squared circle. However, something similar happened recently. During this week's episode of WWE SmackDown, Logan Paul pushed away Aldis backstage just to land a punch on the former undisputed WWE champion John Cena. While this fueled up the rivalry between Cena and Paul, it was undoubtedly not very respectful for Aldis. The general manager was having a conversation with the franchise player backstage when the incident happened, and this could be what gets the GM to lace up his boots again. If Nick Aldis has any plans to make his comeback in the squared circle, this could be the best opportunity. Considering the frustration Aldis has for not getting to take down stars as a general manager, the former TNA star could finally step out of his general manager seat, just after announcing a match between Logan Paul and a surprise opponent next month, or at Survivor Series. Further, just a week before the match or right on the show, Aldis could make his in-ring return to shock the world and finally get his revenge on the former United States champion. Time will tell what WWE has in store for the stars next. The SmackDown general manager is undoubtedly one of the best in-ring technicians in the entire industry, and millions around the world have been waiting for the star to make his comeback one day. Aldis sat in an interview with Chris Van Vliet on Inside QT a few months ago, where he addressed a potential in-ring return. The general manager stated that he felt there was more left in him as a competitor. While Aldis has not given a timeline for his in-ring return, fans will have to wait and see if the legend makes his comeback to the squared circle. The world of WWE is once again buzzing with speculation and excitement, as rumors begin to swirl around the future of Nick Aldis and his role on SmackDown. Ever since Triple H appointed Aldis as the general manager of the Blue brand, the former NWA World Heavyweight Champion has brought a unique sense of authority, charisma, and professionalism to WWE television. His work as an on-screen authority figure has been widely praised by fans, veterans, and insiders, with many believing Aldis has revitalized the perception of what a GM should be in modern WWE storytelling. However, recent developments and whispers behind the scenes suggest that Aldis could be preparing to transition away from his current role and possibly lace up his wrestling boots once again for a blockbuster WWE in-ring debut. The prospect of Aldis stepping down as SmackDown GM to become an active competitor has opened up a fascinating conversation about how WWE may use him going forward and whether a match against a current megastar could be on the horizon. Aldis, known for his polished mic skills, leadership qualities, and strong in-ring ability, was once considered one of the biggest names outside WWE. His tenure as NWA World Champion brought new life to the promotion and made him one of the most respected wrestlers on the independent scene. Many were surprised when he chose to step into a non-wrestling role upon finally joining WWE. But it made sense from a business and creative perspective at the time. WWE wanted to leverage his credibility while introducing him to a mainstream audience in a position that showcased his poise and verbal talents. As SmackDown GM, Aldis has found a balance between authority and fairness, often making tough decisions while avoiding the cartoonish tendencies that have plagued previous on-screen authority figures. His presence alone has helped elevate the brand, making it feel fresh and structured. But Aldis is still a wrestler at heart, and those who know him best believe that his time inside the ring is far from finished. The question many are asking now is whether WWE is deliberately laying the groundwork for Aldis to step back into competition. Over the past few weeks, Aldis has been increasingly featured in tense verbal altercations with several top stars, including heels who have openly mocked his background and questioned why he hides behind a suit instead of proving himself in the squared circle. These subtle story cues could be planting seeds for a future storyline where Aldis finally snaps and decides to get physically involved. If that were to happen, WWE would instantly have a major storyline on its hands. An established former world champion making his long-awaited WWE in-ring debut against one of the company's biggest names. Speculation has already begun regarding who Aldis could face if he were to make the transition. Some believe LA Knight would be a natural opponent, given Knight's brash, outspoken personality and his tendency to verbally clash with authority figures. A feud between Aldis and Knight could provide fans with witty promos, heated segments, and eventually a marquee match. Others have pointed toward AJ Styles as a potential rival, as Styles and Aldis share similar paths as global wrestling icons who made their names outside WWE before stepping into the company. A Styles vs. Aldis match on a big stage, such as WrestleMania or SummerSlam, would undoubtedly attract hardcore fans while delivering a high-caliber wrestling contest. Of course, there is also the possibility that WWE would go even bigger, aligning Aldis against megastars like Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, or even Roman Reigns. Such matches would instantly legitimize Aldis in the eyes of mainstream WWE fans and prove that the company sees him as more than just a background figure. Behind the scenes, it is believed that Triple H is high on Aldis not only as an authority figure, but also as a potential in-ring draw. Hunter's admiration for classic wrestling storytelling and his respect for performers who built their names outside WWE aligns perfectly with Aldis' career trajectory. Triple H has often given opportunities to wrestlers who embody a professional, disciplined approach to the craft, and Aldis fits that mold to perfection. Moreover, WWE is always on the lookout for fresh programs to captivate audiences, and the story of an authority figure finally shedding his suit to fight would be a compelling narrative that fans could easily invest in. Another layer to this discussion involves Aldis' age and experience. At 38, he is in prime physical condition and more than capable of holding his own in a WWE ring. Unlike many authority figures of the past who transitioned into matches as a one-off attraction, Aldis is a legitimate wrestler with years of elite-level experience. If he were to compete, it would not be a gimmick match or a novelty act. It would be a true wrestling contest, and the distinction could set him apart from past authority figures like John Laurinaitis, Teddy Long, or even Kurt Angle during his later years as GM. There is also intrigue surrounding how fans would react to Aldis stepping into the ring. WWE audiences have responded well to his role as GM, appreciating his professionalism and the way he carries himself with gravitas. If he were to suddenly become an in-ring competitor, it could open the door for an organic babyface reaction. Fans love to see someone stand up for themselves, and the idea of Aldis silencing a disrespectful heel by finally fighting back could create a powerful emotional connection. On the flip side, WWE could also experiment with a heel turn, positioning Aldis as an egotistical authority figure who abuses his power to create favorable circumstances for himself. Both directions offer creative opportunities, and either way, Aldis' in-ring debut would be a major storyline shift for SmackDown. WWE's timing would also play a critical role in making this transition successful. If Aldis is indeed being groomed for a match, the company will want to pick the right stage. A premium live event such as Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, or WrestleMania would provide the spectacle needed to make his debut feel truly special. Fans are accustomed to seeing surprise entrants and debuts at major events, and Aldis' first WWE match could be positioned as a must-see moment that adds to the buzz of a stacked card. It is also worth noting that Aldis himself has hinted in past interviews that his passion for wrestling has never faded, and that he still considers himself an active competitor. While he has embraced his role as SmackDown GM, he has never explicitly closed the door on returning to the ring. This makes the current speculation all the more intriguing, as it suggests that the transition is not only possible but perhaps inevitable. For now, Aldis remains firmly in place as SmackDown's authority figure, continuing to make decisions that shape the brand week after week. But with the growing chatter surrounding his future and the storytelling possibilities WWE has at its disposal, fans are beginning to wonder if his tenure as GM is merely the first chapter of a much larger story. A story that could see him trade his suit for wrestling gear and stand across the ring from one of WWE's megastars in a battle that would cement his legacy within the company. If Nick Aldis does step down as SmackDown GM to make his WWE in-ring debut, it would represent one of the most exciting transitions in recent memory. The combination of his credibility, charisma, and in-ring ability make him a unique asset who could thrive in either role. But the allure of finally seeing him wrestle in WWE is something fans may not want to wait much longer for. Until official confirmation comes from WWE or Aldis himself, the speculation will continue to build, fueling anticipation for what could be one of the most significant moves on the road to WWE's future. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our WWE official YouTube channel for more update news.